Hi, guys. Welcome to another episode of The Balanced Path. I'm here solo. The cameras are staring at me. I am a little nervous, but I think I will be fine. Our co host is traveling. And he's in Bombay for a project. He is training Tamanna Bhatia, and we're very proud of him. So I'm here to take on this battle by myself. Okay, just diving straight into why the balanced path. I think this episode will also help me conquer my fears because I feel like these cameras can be very daunting while I speak. And there are lots of situations in life where sometimes there are cameras, sometimes there are imaginary cameras, and you do feel the chills and you do feel nervous. So, yeah, we're going to try to get over this fear together in the next few minutes and go through how we're going to deal with this stress. Okay, so first I want to go on the fact that why we started the balance path. So Sid and I believe that there are three essential things that one must focus on to be able to achieve all the goals that you need to in life. One, fitness or physical ability to do something. Two, if you have finances, if you have the money to do anything that you, even if you want to start a new business, you require the finances. So we feel finance or money is really important. And the third thing is that you need to be mindful. And mindful necessarily does not mean that you need to sit in a meditative state, but it means that you mindfully take actions towards achieving those goals. So I'm going to cover all three topics one by one. But before going to fitness, finance, and mindfulness, I really want to put light on the fact that why we started the balanced path. So I feel like lots of us, all of us in fact, feel lost at certain points in life where we're doing things but we don't know what's the next thing and how we should move forward. And that's precisely why we wanted people to understand. We just wanted to be people who are learning in their respective fields and also adding value to people to learn with us. We want everyone to grow with us and excel in whatever they are doing. So the balance path was just to help everyone understand, especially for like a person like me. I see a lot of people, like I've seen a lot of people migrate abroad or migrate to different places because they feel like यहाँ पर कुछ नहीं है. So it's sort of like running away from problems. So that's why I always say that wherever you are, you can make things work. Spaces, countries, circumstances don't really define who you are. You can engrave that path for yourself provided you work towards these things. So I won't get too deep into this. I will just talk about something that I felt while I was living abroad, which is basically that I wanted to always come back to India. I've lived abroad. I've lived that independent life. I have lived that life where you go to work, you come back, you cook your own meals, there is nobody around you and you're living the absolute independent life, earning good figures, but there's always this something that is missing. So I always felt like you can do these things here in India, and it's nothing to run away from. There are lots of opportunities here. You always look for opportunities, that because the grass is always greener on the other side, right? But opportunities are everywhere. It's what you make of them. And so we wanted people to understand that they can make great lives wherever they are. Just help. This is just a guidebook. The Balanced Path is a guidebook to everyone, because like we fetch knowledge from like different people. We're lucky enough to have lots of mentors in our life that actually have shown us the path, because we have too felt lost in whatever we've been doing, which is basically there was a point in life where I was coaching, but I didn't want to coach anymore. Wanted to coach, but also it was not financially sustainable because I wanted to do something else, and also like putting in 8 hours or 9 hours or 12 hours of work is not sustainable for the rest of your life. I remember initially my father would say you'll get burnt out, and I didn't understand because I was younger. So I didn't understand the concept of feeling burnt out. But as years passed by, I definitely felt the burnout, and I wanted to do other things as well, because there comes a saturation point in everybody's lives. So yeah, I remember my father telling me that you will get burnt out doing the things that you're doing, which is basically like putting in work for 12 hours. And I loved that, honestly, that feeling of like working for 12 hours and like leading that independent life was amazing. But after a point, it did get very daunting. So we had to find alternative solutions where we work smart and we don't work hard. And I really truly agree to that statement. So this is why the balanced path, because like I was burnt out. Siddhartha also was struggling in what he was doing. And then we realized that I'm sure everybody at certain times in life feels like that. And it is okay to start fresh. And it is okay to understand what is working for you and what is not working for you. It is okay to let go of something that you have been attached for a very long period of time to be able to grow in life. Okay, ये ज़्यादा deep हो गया है, तो हम अब dive in करेंगे why we believe that fitness, finance and mindfulness are the three essential things that one needs to be able to achieve their goals. Okay, so fitness, so if you are physically fit, which means that your body is functioning fine. Fitness does not mean having like 6-pack abs, but it means that you have no aches and pains. You can walk to work, you can sit and do your work on a laptop, and you're not having troubles while you're working, is something why you need you need to be physically fit. So fitness is that. Fitness is really, really important. It helps you achieve your goals that you actually need. While like I have to be fit enough to sit and do this podcast because I'll be sitting here for a few minutes or an hour. So fitness is really important. And a healthy body is the way to go forward. When you're younger, you can beat that body up. You can put in extra hours and still get along because your body is recovering faster. But as you age, your body's ability to recover becomes harder. Hence, it's very, very important post, I think, your 30s that you should really start taking care of yourself, because if you have those aspirations and those goals where you want to achieve big things in life, a physically fit body is really needed. Finance. Okay, so I'll tell you a very important thing about finance. I always ran away from money. The term money made me very uncomfortable. I always said that I don't want a lot of money. Having said this, why did I say that I did not want a lot of money? It is because I felt that money is not a tool. I always felt that money is something to do with greed. I always thought that wanting money means that you're being greedy. So it's probably like the upbringing or the circumstances that I've seen around that are always associated having money or wanting to do things associated with greed. So I always ran away from it. But I realized recently realized that money is just a tool. Finances are just a tool. They are not something to associate greed with. If I want to eat food, I will have to exchange. There has to be able to buy food. I will have to have like a tool to barter it with. So rather than me associating, I can't be like, oh, I'm hungry, so I need to eat food. So this is me being greedy. Doesn't make sense, right? So I soon enough realized that money is not greed. It's something that you need to do day-to-day things. Even if you want to set up a business, if you want to maybe put your child to school, or you want to maybe go from a place A to B for work, you need money. And that is it is just a tool and it is not something that is to be associated with greed. So fitness, physical body, or your body needs to be fit to be able to earn money. We need to earn money because it is a tool to be able to progress towards our goals. And then mindfulness, why we talk about the third thing, which is mindfulness, is mindfulness does not really mean sitting in a meditative state and closing your eyes. Mindfulness truly, in the true sense, means that you need to be mindful of the things that you're doing, which is, for instance, I need to do this amount of work today because this is how we will be able to achieve some goals that we need to for tomorrow, or like for our company. For example, like there's a really bad situation that has happened in office, and I start getting very angry, and I start shouting at my employees. Is that going to solve the problem? Maybe not. So I feel like I need to be mindful of what. Of course, you have to be firm to be kind, but mindful also means that I am not taking decisions in my advantage, but I'm taking it in an overall advantage, perspective, which is basically what is important for. If my ego is getting in the middle, I'm going to try to put it very easy. So being mindful means that you don't get your ego in the middle. So if I have to take some decisions which is important for my company, but these decisions are to be taken with a person that I am not really fond of. Should I take these decisions that are sort of sufficing my ego, or should I take these decisions to make sure that my company progresses forward? So obviously I'm going to take these decisions to make sure that the company progresses forward and not get my biases in the middle. So this is why you need to be mindful of everything that you're doing. Okay, you're working out. Why are you working out? You need to be mindful of that. Okay, I need a healthy body. If you're mindful that you're earning money because you want to probably give your child a better lifestyle, being mindful of that. If suppose I'm joking around with somebody and I'm just like, oh, you know what? You're looking, you look really nice, but in my head I'm just like, oh, you're not looking nice. So be mindful of what you're trying to do. I like to elaborate on these things a little bit more. Maybe I'm not making a little bit sense right now because I'm a little nervous, and my hands are really cold. But yeah, I think we will. I'm trying to be mindful of what I'm trying to say so that I'm making sense. So I'll dive into. This is why we discussed fitness, finance, and mindfulness. This is why the balanced path, because we feel that these three things are the pillars to be successful. And we also feel like lots of people want to start a lot of things, achieve their goals, but they don't know how to. So this is sort of like an inspiration or a platform for people to come in and see that there are lots of people doing different things around. So that's why we have guests in, we have people in where they're coming, discussing their experiences, and we try to incorporate fitness, finance, and mindfulness in every talk that we do with our guests, so that we sort of get a gist of how they're using these three things to be able to progress towards their goals. So yeah, we feel that these three things are very important. So yeah, the reason we started this podcast was also because we wanted people to get inspired, like I said earlier, through the guests that are coming in, and see that these people around us started from somewhere and now they are achieving their goals in such a great way. And that is the whole idea of the balanced path. The balanced path means a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and a little bit of fitness, a little bit of finance, and a little bit of mindfulness, and you have the middle path and you're good to go. Okay, so I got these questions asked a lot, and I'm going to cover them a little bit, which is basically so a lot of people tell us that we feel lost. We don't know how to. So I often read the comments, and this is what I've read in the comments, which is basically we have a lot of ideas, but we don't know where to start from. we don't get the motivation to do things that you're doing. How do you do them? So I'm gonna bifurcate both of them, and I'll dive into how you can actually ideate and understand what ideas to work on. So if you have a million ideas, not a great thing. Don't be confused. How not to be confused? I think you need to have 3 good ideas to be able to do anything. In terms of work, when we talk about work, you need to have 3 good ideas to be able to move forward to actually creating something. Why 3 great ideas? Why the number 3? Is because if you have too many of them, you're going to constantly live in confusion. And confusion is going to make you procrastinate. It is going to make you not start. And it's going to make you sit back and be like, oh, you know what? This person started this. I had this idea. Well, too bad you didn't start it. Because you were just sitting and wasting that energy in something else. So have 3 ideas, then develop those 3 ideas. And along that process, you're going to find one idea that obviously stands out more than the rest of the 2 ideas. And that's how you can actually move forward towards achieving that idea. And also share that idea with a bunch of people that actually truly will understand it. Doesn't have to be your close friends, because your close friends are not going to be critical of you. They're going to tell you that, oh, it's a great idea, you should go ahead with it. I think you should go to people who you think will actually critically analyze your idea and help you move forward. So list down those 3 ideas, talk to people, develop those ideas, and then speak to a bunch of people who are going to actually critically analyze your idea, and you will finally have one great idea that you can start working on. And then people say, okay, we have this idea. So by the time that you actually have this idea, you are not going to be afraid of developing this idea. Why? Because you've actually done enough research on this idea to be able to move forward, because you believe in this idea. You know what happens is when you have 10 ideas and you're working half on every idea, you are restricted to move forward, and that's why you feel underconfident. But if you have that one idea now, you will be at least more confident than you were before to be able to actually progress forward. And that's how you actually develop this idea and do things. And then people ask me, then how do you build, or like how do you do things? I mean, you just do things because you just believe in a process. Again, it sounds cliche and it sounds out of a book, but it is true. Like, these things are really written in a lot of books. If you listen to like different podcasts from like, especially like Tim Ferriss, if you listen to a lot of Tim Ferriss, or like any fitness podcast like Mike Israetel, everybody says that there's a process, follow it, and you will end up achieving your goals. And that is the only way. You have to follow the process and keep compounding. The process is something that nobody tells you about. So what is the process? Like, what is this process that everybody talks about? When you do things, believe you me, you understand what the process is. So for the longest time, when we had to open Zoka, we didn't know how to run things. We didn't know what the restaurant business was, even though I came from a background which was to run a hotel. But I always saw the back end of things, and I didn't really know what it takes to actually run a place. So I speak this with experience. You just understand on the job how to do things. So of course you have a system. Everybody has a system, and you figure that system out once you actually are in the system. But for that system, you need to start somewhere. And once you have that great idea, I think one should go ahead, take that leap of faith, and move forward. So that's how you will seek motivation. Once you build that habit of actually walking through the processes that you have developed for yourself. Your process, my process, all processes, believe you me, are the same. the process, what goes in the process can be different, but the process to actually achieve your goals is the same. And that process, once you start seeing results, is going to seek you motivation. Because like I've answered your second question as to how you seek motivation to do things. It's because of the processes that you have formed for yourself that is going to help you seek motivation. So while I was talking on these points, Nitish, our directing team behind the camera, human who makes these really cool edits for our podcast, has a question, and I'm going to let him ask the question. Please go ahead, Nitish.
So Veera, I had a question like, since I'm getting into business more right now, like I wasn't into business much earlier. Like मेरे को ज़्यादा पता नहीं था उस चीज़ के बारे में. तो I'm slowly getting into it कि how to handle like public relations.
Okay.
How to manage in a good way. What you can like suggest me about it?
Okay. So of course you started. I'll ask you a few questions. You answer them, then I'll answer your question. ठीक है. So tell me, when you, of course, you started photography and video, like basically videography and creating all this amazing content that you do because you were truly passionate about, right?
Yep.
It was more than like initially when you started, was it to earn money or was it because you were so passionate about this business?
You know, I was very passionate about the art.
You were very passionate about the art. Okay.
I really liked recreating stuff.
Okay.
Since I believe that in this world nothing is original.
Right.
So I was very into like recreating. I still am.
Right.
Whenever I get chance to recreate something, like get inspired and add something of my own.
Right.
Into piece of like image. It can be an image. It can be a video.
Right.
Whatever it is.
Right. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
So what I have, sorry to interrupt you. So what I have realized over the years, like I have not been like very capable of handling clients.
Okay.
Like managing relations.
Okay.
How to like be with clients, like basically more about dealing
with clients.
Yeah.
Okay. And do you also see that initially like you didn't think of this as a business and post that like now you've reached a stage where you actually want to actually develop this entire business? Like would it be true if I ask that question?
It is absolutely true.
Okay.
You know, when I started, since I never went to school to learn the stuff I know right now.
Right.
So I am like self-learned artist.
Right.
So during that process, I used to meet people.
Mm-hmm.
I used to ask them like if you would like to work with me.
Mm-hmm.
They used to basically offer me some money.
Right.
But not respect.
Right.
And they used to be like taking advantage of my kindness.
Okay.
Every time now and then.
Right.
It used to feel very, very like heartbreaking for me.
Right.
Yeah.
So while you said that you started photography as a business, I mean not as a business, truly out of passion, and now you want to convert that into business. So a very similar story of mine is basically when I got into fitness or when I got into coaching, it was all about ki I was so passionate about coaching that I was like, money ko to side pe rakh do. But after a point, what happens is, and I feel like a lot of artists, a lot of people creating art, or a lot of people who are giving services, which is not a dhanda. People feel कि क्या कहते हैं कि उसके एक तो value people think is not enough, and you as a person also initially like that you love it so much कि I just want to do this. Like I don't care about the money, but the experiences that I gain by meeting people or by shooting clients or by coaching clients is way beyond. So you're still getting value. जो भी आप create करते हो, whatever you're doing in terms of work, you're getting value out of it. Now value can be either monetary or value can be through the experience that you're gaining. So I feel like once you actually have the technical ability and you gain that experience, that's when actually you start realizing that, okay, now your value is way higher and you should be paid for what you should be paid. So I think I'm pretty sensitive like you are, and I used to find it very hard to say no to people, to be like कि आप मुझे, like why are you not paying me enough. Like, I'm very capable than a lot of other people. So why not? So then I think, like I said some time back, you have to be firm to be kind. Like, you have to be kind to yourself. If you're not going to be kind to yourself, and if you're, again, sounds very philosophical, but sometimes you just initially putting that foot down and saying no is going to feel a little like, "Arey, maine kya kar diya?"
Exactly.
But once you actually do it and people understand, people will understand. But you need to give it some time and people will understand. On developing your business, I feel like don't try to be the hero and try to do everything yourself. And I was the hero because I wanted to be the hero in my own movie. But I feel like you can only do so much. You can't do a lot, because by the end of it, you need to understand what your qualities are, what you can do better than somebody else.
Exactly. Even I learned this thing very recently. As I'm shooting like the balanced path.
Right.
So Sid is always like telling about delegating.
Right. Delegating
Delegating
absolutely.
stuff.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I am learning that thing.
Right.
Even I learned like little things about the business from my father. So my dad is a businessman, and he basically tells me not to worry about money so
Okay.
much. I used to worry about money so much. I used to fight with my clients.
Right.
That is not right.
Right.
Whether you're an artist, whether you are running a business, any business basically. So I'm learning. I'm always like keen to learn new things.
Right.
So it's a process, I guess. I'm
Right.
enjoying that right now very
Right.
much.
Right.
So what you can suggest me on this कि like मैं इसको कैसे और
Better.
अच्छा कर सकता हूँ public relations को.
Right. So have a team. Having a team is very important, and a team. Why I say have a team? Because a team will bring in different dynamics to your work. Which means ki there'll be some things that you will be good at. There'll be some things that the other person will be good at, and there'll be, maybe you can be a team of 2 or maybe you can be a team of 3, and these people will actually help your business grow in a much bigger way. Okay, now why do I say this? Initially जब मैंने hospitality शुरू किया तो मैं अकेले, I was alone. And I had my father. But I would say I was alone because there were lots of things that I wanted to do with the business, but I could not because I felt like कि मैं क्या करूँ. I also didn't have the confidence to build on this entire thing because again, you know your capabilities. आपको पता है आपकी capabilities, right? So ऐसे you can bring somebody in your team that actually looks after the finances and also looks after the it'll be wrong to say that you don't want to, like, it'll be wrong to say कि wait for the money to come, because if you worked really hard, then if somebody says कि यार आपको पैसे नहीं देने तो सही नहीं है.
You know, initially what
Like,
used to
हाँ जी.
sorry cut you.
हाँ जी.
Initially what used to happen, I used to put a lot of hard work.
Okay.
Like let's say in editing photos. It's a very it depends person to person. Like one photographer spends this much of time in editing single picture.
Right.
And here I am. I really like spending time, like more than an hour.
Yeah, very technical.
Very technical.
Right.
I like to keep things natural. To keeping things natural, it takes like lot of time.
Right.
And if I have to present that thing well. So while I'm putting that efforts, people used to not respect me. They used to not give me enough time.
Right.
So I am learning that process even right now, like
Okay.
how I can be sufficient, how can I manage that
Okay.
thing and be better at it.
Okay. So I'll just give a simple answer to your the thing that you said. Basically, जो आपको किसी ने hire किया because of course you're like, people don't know how you will have to give it to people that they don't know कि आपका capability क्या है, which means that to a layman, a photographer is a photographer or a videographer is a videographer. Now they
Exactly.
don't know कि
Exactly.
आपने कितना hard work किया है,
What
या
goes behind the
what went behind.
Yep.
So make it understand, to make people understand that how you are different from the other people in the market. which
Yeah.
is basically you need to build that brand value
Exactly.
for yourself.
Yeah.
And two, don't settle for less. Don't settle for less. Why? Because you know that you have to put in that much. A very simple thing once Sid said to me is basically have a per hour rate. ठीक है, अपना per hour rate को understand करो. ठीक है, and that per hour rate should not, and it's something that we have seen in a different, probably read in a book or heard in a podcast, but have a per hour rate. And if you have a per hour rate, and that per hour rate has to be extremely like exorbitant, like it can't be something which is minimal, it can't be something that nobody else can do. So if that per hour rate is exorbitant, then if you quote that price, if you think that that work is going to fetch you in exchange of that per hour rate, then do that work. Think of yourself as somebody who's really highly valuable. That will help you solve your problem. So ऐसे जो projects आपको नहीं लेने ना, where you feel like यारे headache आपका बहुत ज़्यादा है, वहाँ पर once you understand your per hour rate and once you understand कि ये client मतलब नहीं समझेगा, then don't waste your time. You're just wasting your time, your energy, and you're just going to get a bad taste in your mouth. So rather like use that time to develop your brand value and move forward, because there'll be no dearth of work once you're actually developing on that skill. And like I said, don't do all the negotiations yourself. Like if you know that you're not good with dealing with clients, you're good at art basically, but you're not good in, because दो different चीज़ें हैं. आप art create करते हो, पर क्या कहते हैं, client relations completely different field है. तो उसकी आपको ज़रूरत नहीं है ना, client relations के लिए कोई और रखो. Let them deal with it. अगर आपसे अपना अगर आप कोट नहीं कर सकते, आपको कोट करने की ज़रूरत ही नहीं है अपना प्राइस. Let the other person do the धंधा ना, who can negotiate, who can reach a point. And that sort of, initially हमें लगता है, because I see this, a lot of people struggle with this. They feel कि हम जैसे कोई प्रोजेक्ट कर रहे हैं तो हमें सैलरी देनी पड़ेगी, या हम अब जो भी whatever we are earning, little percentage of it will go to this person. But you don't understand that you will get a lot of volume of work. Like volume of work will increase because now this person is great at client relationships. This person knows how to close deals. This person knows how to reach the rate that you're reaching. And if you feel like this person, and you can keep this person on percentage. इसको बोलो कि भाई तू मुझे इतना बिजनेस लाके दे, ठीक है, और तू इतना % ले, बाकी जो मर्जी कर, मुझे फ़र्क नहीं पड़ता. So keep this person on like sale percentage. जितना सेल किया उतना तुम करो, और तुम क्लाइंट रिलेशन में अच्छे हो तो तुम करो. मैं तो आर्ट क्रिएट करता हूँ ना. सो दिस आई एम वेरी बैड विद क्लाइंट डीलिंग. लाइक आई गेट वेरी नर्वस. आई डोंट इवन गेट नर्वस. आई जस्ट like if I'm angry and I'll come on my face. So what I do is I don't deal with them.
This is exactly me.
So I don't deal with this person. Why should I deal with this person? I'm not good at something. I should not do it. And I don't want to work towards it also, because how is it adding value to my... I rather work on my strengths and get better at them. अगर किसी का better है client relationship, या किसी का मतलब negotiation power better है, तो मैं अपना energy क्यों waste करूँ? Like I rather not do that work. Now my part is like I'm a very creative person. So I rather like ideate different idea. Like I work on different ideas and sort of like help them shape and sort of like create different ways to make clients get an experience, rather than कि अरे यार तुम पैसे और दे दो. Because that is not my job. It's something that I'm very bad at and I realize that. तो मैं वो करती नहीं हूँ. सो सिंपल है कि डेलीगेट करना बहुत ज़रूरी है और टीम होना बहुत ज़रूरी है. डोंट बी द ओनली पर्सन फाइटिंग द बैटल. हैव अ टीम. दैट इज़ योर सोल्यूशन.
Thank you so much for your information, for these ideas. I'll definitely look into these.
Right.
And do
I'm
something.
glad. I hope they help, and I hope that...
yeah, these make sense, definitely.
Right.
I
Thank
hope
you.
I'll be able to evaluate like these ideas into my business
Right.
and myself.
I hope so too.
I'm basically a slow learner.
No, I don't think anybody is a slow learner. I feel like if you're learning, there is no pace of learning. If you're learning, that means that you're making growth.
Yeah.
Simple as that. There you just have to keep doing things to be able to learn. Like for instance, जब हमने Zoka शुरू किया था तो हमें कुछ नहीं पता था क्योंकि initially I will tell I would like to say it on camera today is basically when we opened Zoka, it was like the first day was so bad. It was so bad that I can't tell you. मतलब जो बुरी चीज़ें हो सकती है ना वो बुरी चीज़ें हुई उस दिन. It was a disaster. So I remember having this conversation with my brother and he gave me a checklist. So I had a checklist written down कि ऐसा ऐसा होना चाहिए. People should sit on clients like that. Clients should be addressed like this. The first day, the cafe was only not complete. Paint was going on till 6 o'clock and we were opening at 7 o'clock. Menus were not, all thanks to again having a team, that things at least went by. So 6 बजे तक मेन्यूज प्रिंट नहीं हुए थे. मेन्यू अभी हम ऐड कर रहे थे सिस्टम में क्योंकि हमें पता ही नहीं था कि सिस्टम में ऐड करना. लाइक आई सेड कि हम पीछे थे और ऑल्सो you need to be with time. Like lots of things that the business that my father is running, no offense to anybody or no offense to anybody's any established company, but I feel like everybody's way of functioning is different. But we need to adapt to something which is of this time and age, which is basically अगर हम थोड़ा सा भी डिले किसी सिस्टम में करते हैं तो हमारे बिजनेस को वो हैम्पर करता है. सो हमने जब फिजिकली अपने आइटम्स भी ऐड करे मेन्यू में, सॉफ्टवेयर भी उस दिन उड़ गया, मतलब फेल हो गया. Printing, Abhinav, Abhinav Jain.
Yeah,
right?
I know.
So he got Abhishek's brother. He got the menus printed and he got them from God knows where. वो लेकर आया, हमें कुछ नहीं पता. And when the gates opened, there were so many people that we didn't realize we had to shut the gates. So there were people outside the gate that उनको भी लग गया कि अरे हमें अंदर नहीं आने दिया. But हम अंदर आने ही नहीं दे सकते थे क्योंकि इतनी बुरी हालत थी अंदर. It was just like I was crying on one side. If you saw, like, I remembered that we had we had people to shoot the event, like the opening day, and they never gave us the video. I'm so glad they didn't give us the video because if I see the video, I will still cry because it was so bad. Like, I remember I was like stressed. People are like, our food is not coming, bill is not coming. It's because so when you run a restaurant, if you place an order, the cashier places the order. So the KOT होती है, वो निकलती है kitchen में. Basically, it's the order slip that gets out in the kitchen and the kitchen takes the order. So वो निकल ही नहीं रही थी.
Oh my God.
So manually जाके, मतलब it was a mess. So I am glad that it happened. I'm glad that the first day was not a success because we knew 101 things can go wrong and we were not prepared for it. So I feel like that sort of like helps you, like situations like these make you understand how to get better at the things that you have to do, and it constantly keeps you on your toes.
You know, I can share a similar experience with you right now. I had a shoot with a new client.
Okay.
She's a fashion designer.
Okay.
So our shoot was in this. There is a place near BSF Chowk.
Okay.
So my home is at Basti Nau.
Okay.
Like near Football Chowk.
Right.
So it's so far.
Right.
And on that day, the shoot was supposed to start at like around 7:30.
In the morning?
No.
In the evening. Okay.
And I left my batteries at home.
Oh my God.
The light batteries at home. You know how much mess
That's very stressful, yes.
Yeah. So I remember like it got 1 hour postponed, like delayed from my side.
Right.
And 1 hour makeup artist like took time.
Right,
so,
right.
Those things, it's
like
part.
sometimes like things like this happen, like when these things happen, like so a lot of bad things happen when you're running a business ना. मतलब ऐसा दिन अगर निकल जाए ना जिस दिन सब कुछ ना होए, especially like we run a very old property, so something, मतलब in the morning sometimes I wake up, I'm just like अरे आज तो कोई phone नहीं आया, अरे कुछ बुरा नहीं हुआ, wow. So I'm saying like something or the other, there's drama every day, and
Exactly. Drama is good.
I
in a limit.
Drama is good, but I feel like you need to learn. Drama is only good when you know how to learn. You
Deal
know
it.
how to deal with it.
Exactly.
So that's also that's also something that I learned over time, which is basically how do you deal with drama. अब वो हो गया है. मतलब if I cry about it कि अगर अरे वो क्यों हो गया है. So recently what happened was 30 सितंबर को पता है आपको GST रिटर्न्स जानी है. तो हमारा जो बुक्स लिखी गई थी लास्ट ईयर की वो डिलीट हो गई.
Oh my god.
अभी 3 दिन पहले. ठीक है जी. तो वो डिलीट हो गई. तो रात को मुझे कॉल आया कि ऐसे ऐसे डिलीट हो गई हैं. So I thought the worst could have happened. Like today I'm saying it on camera because those files are retrieved by the way. But I heard like I thought कि मतलब कुछ बहुत बुरा हो गया. मतलब मेरे को लगा कोई मर गया है. So it was so bad. Then when I was told that the files got deleted, I was like, oh, that's okay. Like the thing is कि अब वो delete हो गया, so we need to find the next process,
Solution.
which is how to solution.
Yeah.
Find a solution to the problem. Now if we keep sitting like अरे delete हो गया, तो अगर हम उसी में time waste कर दें, then you're not really acting on any problem. You're just making it worse for yourself. So find a solution and deal with it. So then we sent the system to the IT person. He retrieved the files and luckily now we have the files. So if we just sat and cried about it कि delete हो गई हैं, तो
Yeah.
कोई फायदा नहीं होता.
One has to learn like be action oriented.
Be action oriented.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even I wasn't
Right.
initially.
Right.
When I started my business.
Right.
Right now I am. I'm going in the right direction. I feel.
Absolutely right direction, because I used to be the person who was not action oriented, and I used to have a lot of anxiety and a lot of stress because I was just like, oh my god, something really bad has happened, because something really bad happens every day in business.
Yeah. It does.
But if you keep dwelling on that bad, then you're just going to be a mess and you're going to like keep having these nervous breakdowns. But if you actually think that अरे अब वो हो गया, you have to accept कि something has happened. Now you just take action towards it.
You know, after that incident, the one I just told you.
Right.
After that, I started like double checking my
Everything.
stuff,
Right. Right.
and it's been so much great.
Great. So something you learned out of it.
Exactly.
Which is great.
You know, I still remember that day, particular day, moment. You
Right.
know, I couldn't go back as well.
Right. Right.
I could have gone back to my place and gotten the batteries myself. And it was so
Absolutely.
much of traffic on that day. Like 30 minutes, like long jam.
Right. Yeah, I can understand Jalandhar traffic is really bad, but you got everything sorted, which is
Yeah,
what.
it
अगर
was
आप वहाँ पे
sorted.
बैठ जाते और बोलते अरे मैं बैटरी नहीं लाया, so you would have been just been like,
You know, I just think of it, ki, like if a person is shooting weddings, let's say, like I don't shoot weddings.
right.
Like in my field, most of the photographers, they shoot weddings.
Right.
Like how do they manage such things? Even they can forget something on a
Right.
day, but like किसी की wedding है,
जी,
this
जी.
main day,
जी.
and they forget something.
Ji. I think it's part of the job.
Yeah.
Like you know how this is part of
You know,
like
these things scare me a lot.
it's good because they keep you on your toes and you make sure that everything is in check.
Exactly.
Which is a good thing, because if these experiences don't happen, then we're not really prepared for, you know.
These experiences make us better and stronger.
Absolutely they do. Absolutely they do.
So Veera, I had one more question. That is basically regarding like how to keep the difference between your work and your family. Like how not to bring your work stress in your home and just like keep sharing with your parents.
Parents.
Yeah. How to like differentiate that.
Okay. How to differentiate
Yeah.
between, are you trying to say like how to differentiate between how to keep your work at work and home?
Exactly. That I really find sometimes very difficult.
Okay.
When I don't have anyone to share. I do have some friends, like I talk about my work to them,
Right.
but how to not to share with my family.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think I've also struggled to, also I think my household struggles to not talk about work at home. They also have this I think it's a common dining table problem कि घर पे आके जो पूरा दिन में हुआ है वो बाहर
You have to
like
just
you have to vomit
get
it
out of
out.
it. Like,
You have to vomit it out.
yeah.
Yeah, I agree, but I think you have to consciously make this effort, which is basically ऐसे नहीं होएगा कि एक दिन आके you're just like कि मैं बात नहीं करूँगा. I think you can limit it, which means that it's like anything. Like I think any form of balance in life, like if you just whether it's like eating healthy or whether it's introducing fitness in your lifestyle, whether it's not managing work-life balance. I think हर चीज़ को हमें धीरे धीरे we'll have to take it out of our system, and I think the first step is basically you're conscious about it, which means that you're coming at home with all your stress and you're talking about it, which is the first step, that you realize that there's a problem. So realization is the first thing.
Exactly.
Once you've realized that this is an issue, then same thing na jaise after a point what we've started doing is like हम 9:30 के बाद अपने phones नहीं use करते, we keep them on the side.
You know, that's a very, very good habit
So
to be at.
yeah, it's a good habit.
Yeah.
It's something that like helps improve your sleep quality, but also like you're not brainlessly consuming content or brainlessly like scrolling on your phone. So similarly, I feel like even with getting that stress at home, I feel like it thoda maybe like some steps, which is basically like you like as a family, of course you can't do it alone. If everybody's talking about work, then you are also bound to talk about work घर आके. You can talk to your family about work. ऐसा नहीं है कि घर आके बात नहीं करनी, but I think after a certain point you can just be like अच्छा 8 बजे के बाद let's not talk about work, let's keep things light because it's closer to bedtime. You want to keep your mind also relaxed because you don't want to sleep with that stress, because that in turn is going to hamper your sleep quality. Everything is so interlinked, Nitish.
Exactly.
Everything is interlinked. अगर आप अच्छा नहीं सोगे तो आप सुबह उठ के फ्रेश नहीं होगे, अगर आप फ्रेश नहीं होगे तो आप काम पे अपना 100% नहीं दे सकते. So we will have to strive the balanced, hence the balanced path. We will have to strive the balance of making sure that after a certain point we don't talk about work at home. Like a lot of, I think like we are like small businesses or artists that are initially just starting. So a lot of like these CEOs also, I've listened to Alex Harmonzi, like he's a very inspirational person, very like business oriented, and and him and his wife work together, and they are the most like currently the most aspiring people to be, and they're like everywhere, and but I feel like at home, like they definitely talk about how they just switch, like they just have consciously made that effort of like not talking about work, not just having a personal life. And I feel like that is very important because वो कहीं हम balance भूल जाते हैं, तो वो हमें balance खुद ही create करना पड़ेगा by
I think it's a conscious
it's
choice.
a conscious effort. Absolutely.
You know, even I've listened a lot of interviews, podcasts. One of the actors, like Ayushman Khurrana,
Right.
so he talks in a podcast the same thing, like acting is a very difficult profession to be in, like it's very emotional, intense,
Right.
like one person is like doing one role and fully getting engaging in it,
Right.
it becomes so tough. And he shares like I'm very used to it. I just
Snap out of it.
switch when I'm done with the one movie and I'm just
Hanji.
out of it.
Right. I feel like all professions, Nitish, not just acting, all professions. Like us din you were here, like when Mandeep Paji was sitting here and talking about cricket, I just thought that there's so many pressures that sports people go through. Like हम छोटे pressures से हमें इतना anxiety होता है. Like these people are playing on like such world stages or doing movies at like a big screen. I'm sure the stress levels are something else. And even like I understand what you're saying कि वहाँ पर जैसे उनको they are role playing completely different, but here also like कभी T20 खेलना है, कभी
Test cricket खेलना है,
कभी 50-50 खेलना है. तो I think it's hard, yeah. Like I feel like no form of no form of art or no form of career is
profession
is
easier.
Easy.
Nothing
is easy. I think you just need to learn how to master those emotions, and I feel like mastering emotions. I would like to correct myself here. Mastering emotions is not the right thing to say. Understanding what you're feeling, like suppose if I'm having this conversation and I'm feeling extreme anger, like I need to actually or I'm feeling extreme stress, like I need to understand कि अरे मुझे ये हो रहा है, तो I need to like put that feeling a little, like I need to like keep it down and actually try to convey my message that I'm trying to convey to this camera right now.
Yeah.
So I think that is very important.
Yeah, it's right.
Yeah.
It does make sense.
It does make sense.
Yeah.
And I feel like like you said, work life balance, अगर हमारा systems काम पे अगर थोड़े और set हो जाए, for instance अगर हमारे like you said that a lot of times stress comes back at home when our systems at work are not 100%. Okay, now for instance अगर I'm running this business, I'm running Zoka. अगर उसका अगर वहाँ पर कोई इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर का काम चल रहा है, अगर वो भी मैं मैनेज कर रही हूँ, और बिजनेस में क्या अंदर आ रहा है क्या बाहर आ रहा है वो भी मैं मैनेज कर रही हूँ, and if I'm also managing client relationships, I'm also managing vendor relationships, then what will happen is that I'm all over the place.
Yeah.
So then stress from work is going to be very hard. So when I actually come back, क्योंकि technically like we are all humans now, we will want to come and share our experiences with everyone else. So I feel like कि जब आप घर आके you just want to say कि अरे यार मुझे आज इतना गुस्सा आया क्योंकि ये नहीं अच्छे से हुआ, या and mostly that is the kind of stress that you're bringing at home. I feel like if your systems at work, I truly believe this now that I actually think of it, that if your systems at work are very intact, after a point you'll realize कि सब ना automate हो रहा है, या सब जो लोगों को काम करना है वो अपने आप काम कर रहे हैं, तो वो फिर स्ट्रेस अपने आप कम हो जाएगा. इफ़ एट नाइट यू हैव टू थिंक कि अरे यार माई वर्कर्स आर पुटिंग द माई सिस्टम्स आर नॉट वर्किंग प्रॉपरली एंड दे पुटिंग द मनी ऑफ द बिजनेस इन देयर पॉकेट, देन ऑफ कोर्स आई कांट गेट स्लीप एट नाइट. But if I know that there are all like checks in place, all the systems are there, everything is, everything is getting like inventory हो रही है, ये person responsible है, ये person responsible है. So once I think the work processes are more in place, then the stress at home reduces. Then you'll not want to come and talk about all the stress at home. So I feel like that's how you can also balance it.
With this, I'd just like to say one thing. Regular workout helps a lot to maintain your mental health and physical health both.
Absolutely.
And it helps you get better at your work as well.
Absolutely.
In managing stress. For example, me, if I don't go to like gym, like I miss the gym like twice, 2 days regularly.
Right.
And I'm naturally bound to get stress on the third day.
Right.
XYZ reasons. And workout helps a lot. Workout
definitely helps a lot because it's the coordination of your mind and body. It's sort of, you're doing something where everything that you do actually is the coordination of the mind and body. But it sort of helps you channelize that energy. Because in earlier times, people were doing a lot of manual work. तो उनका वो जो बॉडी का एनर्जी है वो उसमें निकल जाता था. बट हियर हमारे पास, और उस वक्त इतना स्टिमुलस भी नहीं होता था. इस बार इस वक्त लाइक इन दीज टाइम्स वी हैव अ लॉट ऑफ स्टिमुलस, लाइक इंस्टाग्राम और सोशल मीडिया बीइंग सो मच स्टिमुलस, न्यूज़ बीइंग सो मच स्टिमुलस.
Instagram is like very effective. It can affect both ways.
Right.
Like when you are in a very relaxed mode and you suddenly see something, it suddenly affects you somewhere.
Yes, absolutely.
And that if you keep on seeing that thing again and again,
right,
it's going to affect your brain.
Absolutely. So I feel like that sorry, where was I, what was I saying? Managing stress, right?
Yeah,
managing stress. So I feel like managing I think I've lost the chain of thought. I'm sorry about it.
No worries.
But yeah, like I think having processes at work, sort of, that's what I was at. And like social media is definitely a trigger for stress.
Yeah.
So we need to, and it's very important to use it. It's not that you should not use it. I was saying manual labor. You said workout helps. My bad. You said workout helps in managing stress, and if you miss it, that's when you actually feel
something is burdening me.
something is burdening you. It's also कि हाँ मतलब एक्टिविटी करनी बहुत ज़रूरी है because body is meant to do activity and body is not meant to do humans have evolved over a period of time, but the body needs to do some physical training or physical activity, and that is very important, and that's why probably you feel कि stress का burden हो रहा है.
You know, it's all also connected with like the kind of work I do.
Right.
For me, if I'm not shooting, like going outside, I have to sit on a single place for hours, and I have to just be in front of the PC.
Right.
And
बिल्कुल.
in a single place sitting, your body gets very stiff,
Yeah.
and your body needs to. It's a machine.
Agree.
You have to keep moving.
Correct.
Else it'll like damage someday.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why, like we, like Sid and I, when we decide the balance path, we say that physical, like for example, you have to be behind the computer for so long.
Yeah.
So you have to obviously your body has to be in physically good shape so that you can actually sit for those long hours. अगर आपकी back ही दर्द होती रहेगी तो आप edit नहीं कर पाओगे. You'll have to constantly keep getting up and keep taking those breaks to like so which will also in turn make your work longer. But now if you're like a physically active person, then your back is strong enough to support the activities that you're doing for work. So that is why fitness is important. But I also feel like like when we say physical activity or we say fitness, a lot of people associate fitness with going to the gym. I don't think fitness means going to the gym. I think it means कि कोई भी physical activity, चाहे आप walk कर रहे हो, चाहे आप gym जा रहे हो, चाहे आप कोई sport खेल रहे हो, चाहे आप if you're playing with your dogs for like say 40 minutes, or you're playing with your children, or you're doing any form of physical activity, or even if you're like cleaning the house, this is all counted as physical activity.
You know, it's all about being consistent.
It's all about being consistent. I was saying that whether you do any form of fitness, which is basically for your physical health, or your work, अगर आप उसको physically अगर आप consistent fitness के लिए अगर आप consistent नहीं हो तो आपकी body में problem आएगी. अगर आप काम में consistent नहीं हो, so your work will suffer. And if you're mindfully not consistent, which means that you're not giving your mind any form of like you're not getting consistent thoughts, or you're not doing consistent things, that is going to, अगर आप बॉडी भी सफ़र कर रही है और काम भी सफ़र कर रहा है तो आपको वो एंग्जाइटी देगा. तो यू आर नॉट कंसिस्टेंट एंड हेंस you're going to be all over the place and there's going to be a lot of stress. So consistency in everything that you do is very, very important. I think all these big CEOs and all big celebrities, everyone that makes it big that you hear about are doing consistent processes, evaluated processes. These processes are not mindless. They are very, very thought into, and they just keep compounding these processes, and that's how they make it really big.
Just see these actors.
Right.
Celebrities, cricketers, any player, any politician, whatever they are, they have to face like lot of camera every day.
Right.
Just imagine that situation, like being just in front of the camera, people are staring at you. It so becomes tough.
It's very daunting. It's very like
just imagine that stress level.
Right. So I guess everybody, they understand that it is their work.
Yeah.
And काम के लिए तो स्ट्रेस नहीं हो सकते ना, करना पड़ेगा.
Exactly, it is their work. They have to do it. So hence they have to do promotions. They have to be.
They have to hear a lot of criticism, which is very hard. But they understand that this is their work and they take it with a
even I was going through a video recently of a player. I just don't want to name.
Okay.
So he reacted. Some people in the audience, like he was in the ground.
Okay.
So some people over there, like basically fans, was saying something to him, and he reacted in a different way. I just personally, it was like so much of backlash on that player.
Right.
And I somewhere feel like it is not right. Like anyone could lose their cool.
Absolutely.
He's just a human,
Right.
normal human.
Right.
And what he did over there, I felt it was okay. Like,
Right. I feel like when you're a someone, then you're open to public scrutiny. There are going to be people who like you, and there are people who are going to be hating on you,
yeah.
which is okay. Like, deal with it. Be neutral. Be in the balanced path. Don't and it was absolutely, like you said, it was absolutely normal, because we don't know what he went through. He probably had like a situation back at home, or something really bad happened, and he didn't know how to react to it, so that is the way he reacted.
Yeah.
Did he react in the right? Maybe he shouldn't have done whatever he did.
Yeah.
But if he did it, that's also fine. Like,
Yeah,
ठीक है,
absolutely.
उसको he couldn't control it. So yeah,
So I think it's fine, absolutely fine. We all have like
everybody has their.
everyone gets angry.
Everyone
Or
gets angry.
Angry is just an emotion.
It's an emotion.
Yeah.
It's an emotion, but one needs to like, emotions are something I would like to talk about. Is something like when you're feeling happy, like, great. If you're feeling angry, great. You should understand that these emotions are coming to you, and you don't want to be happy at like a situation where you're happy, in the sense you're not supposed to be laughing at a situation where you're not supposed to be laughing. So I'm saying that learn how to like keep
Manage your
that-
emotions.
Manage your emotions. I think that also keeps you in check.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's how you keep moving forward. Because the idea is to grow, and the idea is to make the most of the things that are thrown at us. And they're thrown at us every day. So that's how you move.
I think life in itself is very, very like challenging. Challenging for good.
So, like, give me an example of like an emotion that you have no control over.
No, I used to like be very excited of small things.
Uh-huh.
Let's say I got a project.
Okay.
I'm a working person, so I got a project. So I used to be very excited.
Right.
Let's say मुझे client ने कुछ कह दिया. I used to be extremely sad.
Okay.
So right now, after few years of getting over it, I am learning those emotions.
How did you get over them?
You know, with experience.
Okay.
With experience, with learnings, with making like correct decisions. Decisions, it's like decisions is very like situation based.
Okay.
You have to make situation based decision like कुछ ज़्यादा over नहीं होना चाहिए.
जी.
It needs to be balanced.
But like, do you do something to
You know, I used to do meditation.
Okay.
I used to do meditation. For anxiety, I used to I still do progressive muscle relaxation. If you have heard of it.
Is it like you shut your eyes and you...
No. It's a very like I just see a video.
Okay, you see a video.
And
Okay.
it's just like you are sitting on a chair and you have to just hold your muscles for few seconds.
Okay.
And relax your muscles and take few breaths, deep
Got it.
breaths, and
Got
release it through your mouth.
Yeah, so you do it with open eyes.
Yeah, I
So
do.
there are different, like, there's a method like this called NSDR also, like, but you shut your eyes and do it. You can sit on a chair and do it, and here also you're relaxing your muscles and like breathing deeply. Also, I think very similar to like meditation. That's what...
And currently I'm doing like Anulom Vilom daily.
then-
I'm practicing Anulom Vilom daily. Like it's just 10-15 minutes exercise.
So you do definitely do something to keep your emotions in check.
Exactly.
So I feel like I have been an extremely emotional person. Like, I would get very angry, I would get very happy, I would get very sad, I would feel bad at like different things that people would say to me. And it's easier said than done that don't get affected by what people say. But the problem is not कि लोग तो बोलेंगे, लोगों को तो people can have opinions and it's absolutely normal, but I think what really has helped me is sitting, like meditating, and that is just nothing, just like keeping your breath in check, nothing else.
Even during the time of COVID, like whenever like all we were bound in our houses.
Yes.
So, I found something new in that time. I used to not love dogs, like dogs.
Right.
like lack of interest
Right.
in animals, dogs, any pet. Let
Right,
it be.
right.
I used to be very scared sometimes. During that time, I learned about dogs.
Oh, wow.
I fell in love.
Wow.
Right now, I am a big dog lover.
How nice.
So I used to like pet strays.
Right.
It is a mindfulness part of.
It is a mindfulness part of it. It's sort of conditioning. Now, initially, maybe like there must be some fear where you must have thought that, oh, like pets or any form of animals are like animalistic behavior. डर लगता होएगा.
I don't know how it will sound, but I learned dogs' behaviors.
Right. Yeah. Definitely. Like
It's very very normal.
Yeah.
And I think people need to understand that as well.
Absolutely. Any pet owner should learn this.
Not even pet owners.
Like other people
Other
also
people
should
need to
learn
learn
it.
as well.
Right.
Like I see people around me. They're scared of dogs.
Right.
And just see, it's a very simple thing. If dog's tail is wagging,
It's happy.
the dog is happy. If dog tail is wagging very fast and that dog seems to be barking a lot and he's nervous, he or
Right.
she is nervous,
Right.
and it can bite
Yes.
anytime.
Yes.
It's very simple.
It's very simple. Like everybody has like, you know how we have like a ways of expressing like being
Yeah.
happy or being like, you know, angry or like different expressions. Like everybody has a body language. So I
Exactly.
feel like, yes, you're right.
People need
So-
to learn that
People need to learn.
and not to be scared of dogs
Not
at
to
all.
be.
They are like very very friendly.
They are very friendly.
They give a lot of love to us.
Absolutely.
They love more.
They're very unconditional love.
Unconditional.
Love.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, so I feel like that's what I was saying, that mastering your emotions is like very, very important, because it's sort of like but there are ways to master your emotions. ऐसे नहीं कि oh today I'll be like oh मेरे को गुस्सा नहीं आना चाहिए. That is not how it works.
That is a joke, like.
That's not how it works.
Yeah.
It works with you need to like just even if you don't shut your eyes, it's a very in the West right now, meditating is a very like it's the new fashion. Everybody is meditating.
You know, even at the time I started doing journal as well, like writing
journal.
Yeah.
Any form of like
Mindful activity,
which is like, okay, you know, if you're getting angry, why are you getting angry? There are some triggers that make you angry. So once we understand these triggers, we can always work on these triggers कि अरे ये होता है तो मुझे होता है. So then it's sort of like you can actually take actions on how one trigger leads to you being angry, or one trigger makes you feel nervous, and where is it coming from. So everything is like coming from, oh, this happened this is something that I experienced, that's why I'm so scared, so, or this is why I'm so angry. So I think it sort of helps us to, and mastering your emotions, I feel like, is also helps us take correct decisions that we do. Whether we obviously take these decisions in life, we have to take many decisions in life, and just keeping your emotions in check will help you take decisions that are 90% of the times right.
Exactly.
And they work in your favor.
Yeah.
Because if you take decisions in extreme emotion, then there are chances that you regret these decisions.
Even I learned something recently. When you are angry,
right,
you shouldn't react.
Shouldn't react.
Yeah.
That's what people say, right? That's what these quotes say and these great books say, that don't react when you're angry. There is a reason why they say
Just
it.
calm yourself.
Yeah. And then rationally think about it.
Exactly. Then
Yes.
react, like give your opinion, respond to that thing.
Absolutely. So yeah. So I think that's the mindful part of it. Mindful, I think, like I said, doesn't really have to be कि अरे आप meditation में बैठ रहे हो या आप कुछ कर रहे हो. I think mindful is more about like taking these actions that are going to make you achieve your goals very mindfully. Like ultimately, nobody wants to be not successful. Everybody wants to be successful. Everybody wants to be a somebody.
Exactly.
And that can only happen when you take like the correct decisions, master your emotions. Like, why are some people better at some things and why are they like have made it so big? Because they've taken the right decisions. They know how to be. If you see these like podcasts, if you hear these podcasts, or you hear these like see these interviews where people are like these big people or like big CEOs, like they're so calm and composed. Like you're just like, wow, like you can't tell that these people are running some like big businesses, like $1 million
$1 million business.
Yeah. So I think it's
podcast is a very good thing. I think we are on a right track.
I mean, that's what we're trying to do, that trying to share a conversation so that people understand that it's not a big deal. It's no rocket science. It's very simple. It's not hard. Just if there's a problem, there is always a solution. Try to find that solution. And solutions are also not कि चार हैं या पांच हैं. Solution एक या दो होते हैं. You need to see what is the best solution for your problem. And then work towards that. And you're good to go. And
Great.
that's how I think what do you call,
You'll be successful.
You'll be successful. That's how people make it big.
Yeah.
So that's the idea. We are also trying to be somewhere in terms of like, we are also learning, and we're trying to share these learnings with all our viewers. The idea is that as we are growing, in whatever way we are growing, whether we're growing in our mind or in terms of fitness or in terms of what do you call, mindfulness, it's just that everybody grows with us together. So this is, I think, enough talking for today's episode. Nitish, would you like to add something?
No, it was a great experience for me, like speaking in front of mic for the first time.
I'm so glad that you did come to my rescue, where I was just like, oh my God, I'm feeling like a news reporter. I feel like I need some questions that need to be asked to me. So Nitish, obviously, being the brave one, has stepped in, and we have overcome a lot of our fears today, which is basically overcoming the speaking behind the mic, overcoming like 2 cameras staring at me, and being absolutely calm about it and not nervous. I hope, and if you notice, from the first half till the second half, my expressions have completely changed. So I hope that you had a great time listening to this episode. If you liked it, even if it was like this much, please like, share and subscribe. It was a really nice talking. It was a lovely conversation. It was truly heartfelt. Until next time. From the Balance Path, thank you.